No, this is not Douglas MacArthur. This is Joe McCarthy. Although their last name do start with Mac. But we're not going to talk about McCarthy today. In fact, it's not a regular biography video you usually see on Darksean. Instead, today we will be talking about McCarthyism and the Declaration of Conscience. Let's get started. And the Declaration of Conscience. Welcome guys to a new channel, and today we are going to be talking about McCarthyism and the Declaration of Conscience. So let's get started. You already know what this usually meant in the 1950s and 1960s. It basically meant this. No, I'm not talking about the Soviet Union, although they are related in a way. I'm talking about communism here, guys, or better known as the people who were called the nickname that was given to communists, commies. That kind of makes sense, in fact. But set aside the jokes here, guys. Let's actually go talk about the witch hunts. But first, before that, a little bit of background. By now, the Cold War has been going on for a while. And because of that, there's so much that happened that after that, the communism went into rise. Where this guy named Karl Marx, you probably know the story already from other history YouTubers, but I'm pretty sure that I have to talk about it again. Karl Marx wrote in a little book about a thing called communism. I wonder why he didn't call it Marxism. But other than that, someone was pretty into it, especially Lenin. No, not John Lennon. Although he was really investigated by the FBI. Yes, the singer was investigated by the FBI. But I'm talking about Lenin here. Lenin, the Soviet communist, and the guy who went into the Bolshevik Revolution, at least helped aid it. Yeah, and that's how it just jump-started. Then this guy named McCarthy came, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be a senator." And then when he first came, he was like, "Hey, everyone, listen to me." Everyone's like, "Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat, chit chat." Yeah, like that guy's newbie. He's so new. We just shouldn't listen to him. And he's like, I should do something about this. And so he did. One day, he was sent to a women's club in. At least all you need to know for now is just a women's club here. But right there, in a speech, every Lincoln's birthday, the annual Lincoln's birthday, the Republicans at least, give a speech. Or one of them, if they can get their hands on the senator, will give a speech. And on this occasion, McCarthy was chosen. And this is not really much of a high honor since, and if you were chosen for the speech, this means that your reputation is pretty low. At least that's from what I heard. At least that's what the sources I used. And during that convention, McCarthy decided to show people that he really was, that the Republicans were going to I'm not sure if I have to say this, of the communists. Yeah. Of the communists. Sure enough, that's as much as I can get. I mean, other than kicking these guys, on here. That's one of the best things possible here, in fact. So this was his big list. He decided to show that Republicans were going to kick hard on communism. So he made up a list, which included 205 names. And that he said that these people on there, all the 205 names, were all communists working in the government itself. And this literally just went up high. And here's a source where he probably got all those names. Where did he get all these names anyway? Well, he was sent a letter from, I don't know, a fellow senator. And in that letter, it included 284 names and these people were supposed to be kicked out of the government. 79 of them have already been kicked out. So that leaves only the 205 people left. And those people are on the list of McCarthy's list. And this is probably where he got the names. And history gets weirder by the minute. But then this happens. He says, we must prosecute all these communists. We must prosecute all these sympathizers of communism. We must destroy everything, everyone who is sympathizing with the communists. We must destroy these guys for once and for all. Oh! That's basically McCarthyism in that word here. A nutshell. Ding, ding, ding. And McCarthyism is still here in recent years. But I'll get to that in the end of the video, so let's just get on with this. So McCarthy and other people decided to get on with a lot of witch hunts, which is why I chose this picture to be here in today's video. This is a medieval picture of witches, at least fake witches, who are said to be witches, to be burnt. It's really ridiculous, all these. And now we come to the question of consciousness. And I would like to call this part of the video Riots of Conscience. I don't know if they actually they automatically make chapters in this video. But if they do, I'm pretty sure they'll call it that. Another thing here is that after hearing all this, one woman, the only sole woman senator in all of these places, was called Margaret Chase Smith. Margaret Chase Smith. And she was pretty good at the job. She was able to just riot and do riots. But one riot she actually helped start up is the Declaration of Conscience, where she just gave a speech, which I will be uploading a video of me getting that speech, of making that speech onto this channel. And that's everything that ever happened here. So Margaret Chase Smith gave a little speech called the Declaration of Conscience. And that kickstarted the downfall of McCarthy. By now, McCarthy here went on a downfall for a lot of reasons. One thing here is because of his little bit of an accusation. Now, if you want to accuse someone, you better leave the army out of it. But McCarthy didn't even do any of that. Instead, he was like, I want to accuse someone. So now that I accuse everyone else, I need someone to accuse. And the only person I can't accuse, the only person I haven't accused yet, that is my next target, is the army. Da-da-da! Now, and then someone literally said this. And it was this. Have you no decency, no sense of decency, sir, at long last? During the hearings of, 36 days against the army, against the possibly communist army. And that, started his downfall. And eventually, he actually became this. All thanks to Margaret Chase Smith. And when he became this, he actually started drinking. He started drinking a lot. And that possibly helped to accumulate his liver failure, which is the cause of his death. And that is all. And before I leave and end today's episode, I have one question for you guys. What do you think is Americanism? I mean, I'm not American, but this has been happening in recent years. It has been a talk about McCarthyism, like something similar to McCarthyism in similar years. Not in the United States of America, surprisingly for most of you guys, I guess, but in South Korea itself, at least according to my mom. I have no big head in politics, but of course, because I'm not really interested in politics, so I'll only be in politics when I need to be and I'm asked to be. Unless there's an option of not doing it without any failure to my reputation. But in South Korean politics, there's this thing that's similar to McCarthyism. That is like, you're communist, something similar to that. It's like a witch hunt again, all over again. And a lot of other videos already explored the question of if this happened, if McCarthyism can already happen like this, then could it happen again? Well, it turns out it's probably happening again. But not in the United States of America, thankfully for all of these American viewers out there. But in my homeland, Korea. What a bummer. And that concludes this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you guys did enjoy this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. And click that big thumb button right there. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Shanan out. Peace. Subscribe to my other channel, Leoka Martin and Sean. We now currently have 2,670 videos in our original channel with 125 subscribers. This guy, 1 subscriber, 1 video. See you guys then. Shanan out. Peace.